So we're in data validation. We've seen how to control what goes into our cells, and we've controlled whole numbers or decimals. We've controlled numbers within a range. We've controlled dates to force people to put a date in. The one that we haven't done is how to create a drop-down list. And you'll remember from Tuesday's course that we had a drop-down list, and I said I'd teach you how to do it on Thursday. So let's do that for column C. We've got our survey which is going out. I want to restrict what people are able to put in the cells to reduce my need to do data rework afterwards. And I would like people, when I'm asking them the local currency for the survey from their office, to follow my standard currency formatting which I have here in column M, rather than typing just a symbol or typing euros as a word or whatever else they might do. So, highlight for me C4 to C13. Those are the cells we're going to do our controls on. And as before, we click on the Data tab if you're not there already. 2/3 of the way across, Data Validation. Click on that and it brings up our Data Validation wizard or dialog box. And in the Allow box, currently obviously it says any value as it did before, and we've looked at some of these others already, but I'm now particularly interested in list, the fourth one down. Click on list for me, and where before it was asking me for what type of number I wanted, you'll see now it's come up and it says source. So it's asking me to tell it where Excel will find this list, and I've got them here. So if you click in the source box and then move over and select cells M7 to M11, and you'll see they come in there automatically with absolute references, as we looked at in the using formulas courses, which means that it won't change as it goes down the row with the column, which is good. I'm not going to put in for now my input message or my error alert because you know how to do that. What I'm interested in is creating the drop-down list. So I've chosen the cells, I've chosen where my list is, and I press OK. And now if I click back into column C, you'll see as I select a cell, we've now got a little drop-down arrow on the right-hand side. And if you click that, it's then got the contents of my source values here, which I can select from a list. Now, if people don't like using the mouse, which is the case with some people, this doesn't force you to use the mouse. What it does force you to do is to select something from this list. So if I don't want to go and select, if I'm easier with the keyboard, I can just type in GBP space £. It will allow me to do that because it matches something which is in the list. What it won't let me do for Frankfurt is to type in euros as a word, because that formatting of the word is not in my list in column M. That gives me an error message. And for drop-down lists, there are a number of uses to those. Obviously, the obvious one is here to control what people to put into cells, but I often use them for myself as well. If I'm doing a spreadsheet maybe about training courses and trying to keep track of things, some of my training courses have quite long names, and I maybe don't want to have to type the whole training course name into each cell as I'm writing them in, or maybe there's room for error if I miss out a comma or something and I get slightly different values at two different places in the list. I often create drop-down lists just for my own use, not to control what I do, but to save me typing time and to reduce my number of errors that I put into spreadsheets as well.